UFC 322 DraftKings GPP Tournament Tactics. It's a builder show. Going to go through build 150 lineups, smash the optimal. Last week we were one off the optimal, still a big profit. Bouncing back into a big card this week. The prize pools are enormous, and there is plenty to talk about. If you don't know, I don't know where you've been, but Wellmaker's got a new opponent. He is Mega Chalk. We got some all-in fights to target. Make sure you check out the fight breakdown video I already posted this week. And let's go ahead and let's dive into some tournament tactics to help you win a big GPP. I use the DFS Army Builder. You know that's where I am. Link in the description to join up. But if you use another builder, we're just going to talk strategy. You can use other builders. But again, I recommend DFS Army. Make sure you go and check that out. Do me a favor before I dig in, hit the like button. I want this to be the most liked video I've done. We get tons of watches. Now let's amp up the likes, guys. I know it's a small thing. It does help. Do me that favor. Now let's go ahead and let's build. Step one, we're going to start with our basic setup here. Usually I just put in 49.4 because of Wellmaker. You can lower this down to 49 flat or 49.2. I'm going to go 49.2 this week. Just because a little bit of odds value. He is in the mid-range. I think we can lower it down a little bit. I don't love a ton of dogs. There's a couple live ones. I'm going to lower this just a little bit. Number of lineups, we're building 150. If I can type the right number, that would be super. I go tournament mode. I go 1%, or sorry, 1 unique. You could go 2 unique. I'm going to stay with 1. I rely on my exposure a little bit more than the unique fighters, but you could go 2 here. Randomization 1 to 9. Just get a little bit off the optimal. It's UFC 322. There's 2 2s. We're going to go with 2%. Very tactical, I know. Now, usually I would just start going in, and the big thing with GPP, if you don't know, is we talk ownerships. Are you going over or under the field, and you target that way, and it's that simple. It's fight by fight. That is almost always what we do. It's not where I'm going to start this week. The pools are bigger. We got more to do here. I want to be more specific. I'm going to take a gamble on a couple of spots here, and I'm going to put in some fight rules to get real specific with what I want. I've been going back and forth on a couple. The one I'm going to land on, and this is, again, you can just go fight by fight, over, under. I'll tell you who I like in a second, but I'm going to add to it here in that player groupings. I want between 2 and 2. I want exactly 2 of Islam Makhachev, Della Maddalena, Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili in all of my lineups. What that means is that I am all in on the main and co-main. You got basically Islam Makhachev, 5 rounds, going to try and wrestle. Either going to get knocked out or wrestle. Fuck always scores great. Weili Zhang and Valentina Shevchenko in the mid-range, big scores, 5 rounds. If they're not in the optimal lineup, I'm out. I'm not going to hit the optimal. I'm not going to have a bad week, clearly. I am all in. One of those fighters are going to be in every one of my lineups. I will tell you that I can't. Oh, you know what? I've come really close on. We're going to add one more. Fuck it. Let's go big time here. Between 3 and 3. It's going to make the rest of the build process really hard and really difficult. But I'm also all in on Benoit Saint-Denis and Beneil Dariush in all of my lineups. That means every one of my lineups, half of the spots are gone off the top. I'm either going to have a great week or a shitty week. It's how I'm choosing to attack this slate. I think all 3 of these fights are super likely to end up on the optimal to the point that I'm willing to gamble with it. That's where we're going to go. So the problem is that if, you know, Islam and Jack ends in an eye poke or something crazy happens in one of these other spots, I have no outs. Be drawing dead. I'm okay with it. 3 fights, I'm all in on. That means when I go through the rest here, I have to be a little bit cognizant of what I'm doing with the rest of the exposures. It's also a big card. There's 14 fights on this card, and half of my spots are taken. So, again, rolling the dice here. Let's go ahead and dig into. We start off right at the top here with Shevchenko and Zhang Weili. I'm all in on the fight, so that means I have to have 100% exposure. Field's pretty split. Vegas pretty split. If you saw my breakdown show, I lean Zhang Weili. I want 60% Zhang, 40% Val. That's just how I'm going to approach it, how I think the fight's going to go. I think it's 60-40. Weili wins. And that's where I'm going to shoot for my exposures. Bo Nickel, Rodolfo Vieira. This is one of the ones where I picked Bo Nickel, but I think Rodolfo makes the better DK play. I don't want a ton of this fight. I'm going to cap. I do not want to be over the field on Bo Nickel. 10% max is fine. I do think Rodolfo is in play here, and I'm going to be skeptical to cross off dogs, so I'm going to aim for between 20 and 30% Rodolfo Vieira. Benoit Saint-Denis, Beneil Dariush. My biggest spot in the card, I think, by far. And honestly, Gregory Rodriguez is going to be close in terms of importance to me, but I have to have 100% of this fight. Benny also missed weight. I think it's just a bad spot. To me, I want to be field weight on Benny to where if he wins, great. I'm fine. And I'm just jamming in Benoit Saint-Denis. That's 80% Benoit Saint-Denis. If I'm playing the $5, which I am, that means do the quick math. I'm going to have $600 on Benoit Saint-Denis lineups. That's not to mention whatever the hell else I end up playing. Again, it's just a stand I'm choosing to take on this card. I'm taking a big one. If you want it to be a normal strategy, you go 50 to 60% Benoit, and you run field weight on Dariush. I'm choosing to take a couple bigger swings this week. Boom or bust, it's the game we play. Honestly, using a little bit of profit from last week, and some we had scrolled away from other videos like this, and we're going after it for the card at Madison Square Garden. Gregory Rodriguez, Roman Kopylov, another fight I am very high on. So I want to be over on Gregory Rodriguez. This is going to be hard because of all the other spots I have taken up already. So I want to get like 15% over. I'm going to run up to 45% Gregory Rodriguez. I would like more than that, but I'm not going to restrict the DS to start with. Okay. Well, Roman Kopylov, I just think it's a bad matchup for him. It's a good fight to target, but again, I think there's other places. I'm going to go underweight to Kopylov. Give me I don't know, probably somewhere between 5 to 15% in that range, I think is fine. Carlos Praches, Leon Edwards, if you don't know, this is one of my upset spots in the card. I want to be double field on Leon Edwards. I want 25% Leon. I'm going to leave the rest open because, again, I don't know what the DS is going to do with all those other rules I slammed in. So I'm trying to a little bit more lenient here. I'm under on Carlos Praches. If he knocks out Leon Edwards spectacular fashion, hits the optimal. Another place where I'm very against the grain this week. I'm very all or nothing. I'm accepting it. That is the strategy I'm taking. Sean Brady, Michael Morales, close fight. I want to be over on Brady, under on Morales. The fight's probably, even if Morales wins, is what I want to say, is that even if Morales wins, I think he's going to have a hard time hitting the optimal against Sean Brady. I'm going to cap him at 15%. I want to get a little over on Sean Brady at 25. And again, I'm going to let the DS kind of do its thing. And after our first run, we'll do a little bit of scouting here. Dawkins and Mearshart is another spot that I want to be overweight on because just it's the way GM3 fights. I want to be overweight to both guys, though. So I want to try and get like 35% Dawkins and at least, I don't know, I'm good with 15% Mearshart. And that may seem like a lot. He's over at 5 here. But he's so boom or bust, so all or nothing. 15% is no sweat. Like, I am okay with that. Baisangor Susurkayev, 38%. I think this is too high. I want to be right around, I want to minimum 20, cap him at 38 at field weight. 9,800 is rough. He didn't look that good last time out. I'll go ahead and run this back in. Mechanico, I'll take 5 to 10% Mechanico. Okay. Yeah, I'm overweight. Do I think he's going to win? No. But if he does, this is leverage. Helps me slam in more of Benoit Saint-Denis. So I'm good with this. Sabatini Shepe, this is one I wrote up as you need to try and be overweight to your favorite slightly and underweight to who you're picking to lose. And I'm picking Sabatini. At one of the all-ins, Makhachev, Maddalena. How much are we talking about? I'm picking Islam. I decided I was either going to do 20 or 25%. I'm going to go 25% and 75% Makhachev. Mostly, I get leverage either way. I could go real aggressive and be 80-20, but I think we're splitting hairs here. Fatima Klein, I'm okay if I get none of Fatima Klein. I just think it's a bad matchup. I'll cap her at 5% just in case. Angela Hill, cash game lock. Go ahead. I'll take field weight at least on Angela Hill. And let's see what the DS does here. Malcolm Wildmaker, this is another one, a big spot to take on the card. He just feels so easy. First round knockouts, 8,400. 50% I think feels low. I think he's going to be at 60% plus. Maybe I'm wrong. Ownership is not really my thing. I'll go ahead and go with it. I'm going to say I want between 70 and 85%. I think you either got to go way under or way over. I'm choosing way over. Come back on Ethan Ewing. For me, I don't think he wins this fight at all. Too much, too soon. I'll cap him at 3%. And if he comes back at 0, I'm not going to force any in. Blanchfield Cortez right in this 10% range. I think this is fine. I'm going to give this a range. This is one I'm just going to play vanilla. I have enough stands on the card. I am anywhere around field weight for both fighters is totally fine. Camilo Borshev is another one where I'd like to get over on Camilo. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So this is when I'm going to open up quite a bit here. And anywhere between 15 and 35%, I'm giving myself a 10% range on both guys is fine. If I'm way under on Slava, it's fine. If I have a little bit more, I'm okay. I'm going to go this 8 to 25 range. I'm trying to keep things open as I'm about to hit run, and I'm afraid the DS is going to start spitting up blood with all the things I just did to it. But let's see. I may have won too many rules here for our good old domination station. This is when I can start tailing back if I have to. So let's abort. And now I'm just wondering if I got disconnected while I was building. That would be really unfortunate. Only one team of these. Yeah, I did too much. All right, let's see if I can manually get to all in on those 3 fights. So let's optimize without that rule in place. Maybe we'll do one rule at a time. We'll see where it spits it out. Let's do a first run here. There's that 3 fights I want to be all in on. 85% Wellmaker's a lot. 63% Chepe. I mean, 77% Bangor Susurkayev. I mean, sometimes I get a little frustrated with the tools because this is not even trying to do what I want with some of these. The projections are just so heavy here. This rule really just causes that much. Oh, it ran again. All right. The rules have taken effect. We re-added our 3-person all-in rule. And we have run. All right. And now we got some more stuff to look at here. Benoit Saint-Denis, 81%. Cool. That means I should have 19% of Benil Dariush. Perfect. Zhang Weili is 63, 37% Shevchenko. Perfectly okay with that. Wellmaker, we talked about it. It couldn't get all the way up. This is one of the things I am worried about. I'm okay with 61%. That could be field weight. Islam Makhachev, 56%. I'm not okay with that. I need more Makhachev. I don't want 44% Jack Della Maddalena. I'm going to bump this ownership up. That could change some other numbers around. Let's see if anything else stands out to me. I need to bump down Bangor Susurkayev. I don't need that much of them. I'm okay being under there. Sean Brady, Gregory Rodriguez. I need more Gregory Rodriguez. Let's bump that up. Now let's do a run here. Let's not try and change too much all at once. A bunch of strong stands we are taking this week, boys and girls. All right, Benoit Saint-Denis now 77%. Close enough. 68% Makhachev. Nope, I want more. More. I really want to be in the 70s. Minimum 70s. Benoit Saint-Denis 75. Don't love it, but if that's what I had to give up to get more Islam, okay. Makhachev 71. Whaley 65, which means 35 for Shevchenko. Cool. Wellmaker at 61. Rodriguez still overweight, a little under where I wanted, but fine. Jack Della. Dariush. Chepe's a little higher than I want. But it's because we need dogs because I'm the favorites I like in that mid-range. But let me see if anything else stands out to me. I don't like that I'm underweight on Kyle Dawkins, but again, so many favorites I like. Sabatini, I would prefer to be over on too, but again, I got my all-ins are my more coveted spots here. And it looks like I'm fading 4 fighters too, as of right now. So, really, really interesting. Second to think. Okay, do I want a little bit less Chepe. I don't know if that's enough to really make me want to start adjusting things. I'd like a little bit more Kyle Dawkins. That might not be possible. That might start lowering my Islam ownership, so I might have to just eat that one. I'm going to try. Oh, here we go. I want more Leon Edwards. I want to be over on Leon Edwards. That lets me get some of these other favorites in. Bump me up. 9%. No. That is definitely something we need to be up in the exposure here too. And yeah, Camilo, if I end up under on his, that's just one of those going to have to be scared and take it. So let's run it back. Longer episode this week. Sometimes these go quicker, but I knew with what my plan was, this could be a long one. All right, Benoit, way over. Islam is in range. So is Whaley. Wellmaker to give up a little bit more, and I'm getting a little bit not loving that, but Chepe didn't go down at all. Susarkayev is lower. I'm gonna bump. Well, I got to try and get more Wellmaker, just a little bit more. I know I'm starting to over adjust here. I get more Wellmaker if I give up some Shevchenko. If this next one doesn't work out, that's something I'm going to strongly consider. Very strongly. We'll do one more run here. I'm okay to get over on Angela Hill. Let's get a little more Angela Hill. The rest is okay. Somewhere in that range. Probably could use a little bit more Michael Morales too. Just a little in case. Let's run one more time. One more run for the boys. I think I'm going to have to give up some Valentina Shevchenko. Benoit and Islam both in the 70s. Whaley at 61. Wellmaker at 68 again. Cool. Rodriguez, Gregory, a little over. Wish I was more, but okay if I have to live with it. I got my Leon Edwards I was looking for. I'm under on Susarkayev. Brady, I got a little bit. Chepe still higher than I want, but I'm going to eat that, I think. Got some more Adolfo. Wish I was higher on Sabatini, but again, that's just these are guys I know I'm making sacrifices for. GM3, I got a little bit being over there. I don't hate this. I'm forced under on some guys, but it's because I've got more than half my lineups with Benoit Saint-Denis, Islam Makhachev, Malcolm Wellmaker, and Zhang Weili. Those are the big stands on the card. The fighters I'm fading as of now, and I'm doing this just to make sure. I do not think I saw any Fatima Klein. Microphone fell. Hopefully you guys so good. I think I'm good with no Fatima Klein. Yeah. No Fatima Klein. Fade. No Bo Nickel. I'm okay with that too. Just in that range. So I'm fading Klein. I'm fading Nickel. Did I end up with any Carlos Praches down at the bottom? I think I ended up with a little bit last I looked, but it could be a no-go. It is a no-go. Fading Carlos Praches. Some of you are going to fucking hate that. And I think I'm fading Kopylov. Nope, just a little bit. Sorry, 7% Kopylov. Who's the other one? Who's number 4 on my list here? Did we not get any Ethan Ewing? That would be silly at his price. Nope. All right, that is our fades. Those are our fades. So to recap, again, I got some guys who I like to win that I'm still going under on because I'm more committed to my core. My core this week is Benoit Saint-Denis, Islam Makhachev, Malcolm Wellmaker, Zhang Weili. I'm really clearly narrowing down, guys. Feel free to go through this, use what I said is who I'm over and under on, and take out some of those restrictions and be a little more conservative if that's your strategy this week. My fades of the card are Ethan Ewing, Carlos Praches, Fatima Klein, and Bo Nickel. That's what we got this week, guys. Super aggressive strategy laid out. Hope you guys enjoy. Do me a favor. Again, I want this to be the most liked video I've done. Smash that like button. I'll see you in the DFS Army Discord. Good luck, and I'll also see you at the top of the leaderboards.